Welcome to the first part of our training program. This particular video is for everyone who handles the fruit and works in and around the harvest operations. Its purpose is to inform you of the safety practices of our industry and the role we all play in keeping our fruit free from contamination. Food safety concerns all of us, because if our fruit were to become contaminated and consumers were deterred from buying it, everyone in the industry will be affected. Growers without consumers means workers without jobs. We know this because it has happened in other food industries. There are many workers in and around this orchard, and we all share the responsibility for keeping it safe, clean, free from litter, and in compliance with our industry regulations.
Our hygiene policies apply to everyone. So whether you are a worker or a visitor, please wash your hands before you start or return to work. Use the bathroom or portable toilets. They are easily accessible and supplied with paper towels, toilet paper, hand soap, and drinking water. If you are sick, do not handle the fruit. And before you start work, leave all small, loose items in a safe place. We have plenty of places to dispose of litter and waste, so please pick up any glass, metal, or other trash that you might find and put it in the garbage. Our bulletin board has important notices such as medical contact information, information about job safety, job injury, and your rights as workers. This is information you need to be aware of, so take a few minutes to go over it. We have signs to remind you of and to communicate important messages. For your safety, please pay attention to them. We also provide well-stocked first aid kits and have trained personnel on site. If you or anyone else gets injured, tell your supervisor immediately. Functional emergency washing facilities are always available. All personal protective equipment will be provided when required for specific tasks. Do not come to work sick. Workers with flu symptoms or other infectious conditions may not handle produce under any circumstances. Take care of your hands. They are the single most important link in the food safety chain. So, to help prevent the spread of infectious diseases, look after them and follow these 4 simple steps. First, wet your hands thoroughly in clean running water. Second, use soap to loosen germs and dirt. Third, scrub your hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds and rinse well in clean running water. And finally, dry your hands on a clean paper towel and throw it away. Clean, fresh water to drink should always be close to where you are working. If this is running low, please alert your supervisor. Animals in an orchard are a problem. Their feces are potential contaminants, so alert your supervisor if you see a potential pest problem. Inspect all containers and tools before you use them. Do not put fruit in anything that looks unclean. If a container looks dirty, ask your supervisor for a replacement. Make sure you fill out your bin tickets. This is how we pay you and also how we trace the fruit from its point of origin to its destination. Notify your supervisor of any fuel, oil, pesticides, or other chemical leaks or spills. Exposure to these materials may contaminate the fruit, harm you, or harm the consumers. If you have a hand wound or injury, cover it with a bandage and a glove. Fruit contaminated with blood or other bodily fluids must be disposed of or destroyed according to safety procedures. Eat only in designated areas during your breaks and meal times. Do not eat while working around the fruit. Smoking, chewing tobacco, and the consumption of alcohol are not allowed in the workplace. If you are under the influence of alcohol or any controlled substance, do not report to work. We use many different tools and machines in this orchard, and the use of each requires specific training and protective equipment. Do not use any of this equipment until you have received the proper instruction from your supervisor. For your own protection, keep your cutting tools sharp and in good repair. Only use equipment associated with your particular job. To help you avoid injury while lifting, follow these simple steps. Plan the lift. Spread your feet shoulder width apart and place one foot slightly in front of the other. Bend your knees and lift with your leg muscles. Keep your back straight. Do not lift with your back. Make sure that you keep the object close to your body and lift in a smooth motion. Do not twist while lifting. If you need to turn, simply change the position of your feet. And get help if the item is too heavy for one person to lift. If you use orchard ladders, help us keep them in good repair. All cracks, bends, or loose rivets need to be reported to your supervisor. To move your ladder, pick it up. Do not walk it into position. When you carry a ladder, balance it on your shoulder and hold the third leg against the ladder steps. Make sure you keep all ladders away from electric lines at all times. To position the ladder, place the side rails in the soil. And keeping your arms straight, hold the ladder and extend the leg. If you are working on a slope, position the ladder so that the third leg is upslope and the weight of the ladder is on the legs that extend down from the side rails. If you are working on a cross slope, place the third leg slightly downslope from center. When using your ladder, make sure your shoes or boots have heels and that your pants do not catch under them. Make sure your weight and body are centered on the ladder at all times. Do not stand on the top 2 rungs. Never lean your ladder into a tree. If you have a full load, turn slightly to avoid bumping and damaging the fruit. And always face the ladder when descending. Be extremely careful when using ladders in wet weather. Some jobs, such as tying, thinning, or pruning, require that you stand in one place on a platform for specific tasks. To reduce the risk of injury from this type of work, keep the work directly in front of you. Make sure you can reach your work easily without straining. Avoid raising your forearms above your shoulder. Avoid deep bending at the waist, as well as squatting, bending, and twisting at sharp angles for a long period of time. It is important for your well-being that you move around, rotate your position, and take short breaks to rest. If the platform is more than 4 feet high, it will have railings or you will be issued a harness. These are for your own safety should you accidentally fall. The harness must be attached to the safety line and must be used at all times. If personal protective equipment is needed for a specific task, you will be instructed in how to fit, use, and maintain it. Make sure that you clean and store these items in the designated areas when your task is complete. Working in the heat can result in heat stress. This happens when your body overheats and you feel weak and tired easily. To avoid these, keep yourself well hydrated and stay away from salt tablets, alcohol, carbonated drinks, or drinks containing caffeine. Your clothing should be well suited for orchard work. Wear a hat with a brim and light-colored clothing that is loose-fitting, breathable, and lightweight. Wearing personal protective equipment can cause heat buildup. Make sure you drink plenty of liquids before putting on your equipment. While working, drink more water and take more frequent rest breaks. If one of your coworkers shows signs of heat-related illness, contact your supervisor Chemicals are a necessary component of the fruit industry, and their proper use is vital to everyone's safety. Your rights are protected under the Hazard Communication Standards or the Worker Right to Know. Only a few employees will be working directly with the chemicals. Those who are will not be expected to do so without the proper training. Any of you may work around trees, product, or facilities that have been in direct contact with chemical agents. In these cases, your supervisor will inform you about which areas are unsafe to enter. Warning signs will be posted at the entrance of the worksite or at the edge of the area that has recently been sprayed. All our chemicals are clearly labeled with the name of the chemical and the appropriate hazard warning. If you see a container that is not labeled clearly or chemical leaks or spills, notify your supervisor immediately. Your supervisor will tell you where you can find the written hazard communication program, the list of hazardous chemicals, and the material safety data sheets or MSDS. These inform you about the safe use of hazardous chemicals. They also tell you what to do in case of an emergency. Records showing exactly when, where, and what pesticides have been applied are kept at this work site. Pesticides can be absorbed through the skin by breathing them in and by swallowing contaminated food or drink. Possible symptoms of pesticide poisoning include sleepiness, vomiting, stomachache, blurry vision, drooling, difficulty breathing, and fainting. Usually, several of these symptoms occur together on the day of exposure. Over time, pesticides may cause health problems, so help us help you to protect yourself. Do not go into a sprayed block until the re-entry period is over. The time of this period varies with what has been applied and will be posted. When the re-entry period is over, wear protective clothing. Do not use irrigation water. If you are sprayed, wash immediately and change your clothes as soon as possible. If you get pesticides or other chemicals in your eyes, flush them immediately in running water and get medical attention. If you feel sick and think it is due to the pesticides used in this workplace, tell your supervisor immediately. After work, shower thoroughly. Never take empty pesticide containers home. Keep your dirty work clothes away from other laundry and wash them separately. At least once a month, a walk-around safety inspection is conducted at this site. At that time, we inspect all materials and equipment involved in the operations of this orchard. If you are aware of any unsafe situations, tell your supervisor. You will not be disciplined for doing this. Additional safety meetings are held at least once a month or whenever there are major changes in job assignments. Copies of these meetings are posted. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. We expect and welcome them.
Videos such as this one are part of our worker training and orientation program. They are designed for your safety. Attendance is mandatory. Please sign the participation sheet before you leave today. And remember, the most important key to safety is right here. It is our intelligence, our common sense that will continue to ensure your well-being, the well-being of our co-workers, the safety of our fruit, and the continuing success of our tree fruit industry. Thank you.
This company wishes to provide a safe and respectful workplace for all its employees. We respect the human dignity of our employees. The company does not tolerate sexual harassment in the workplace. Sexual harassment is prohibited by company policy and also by state and federal law. Any employee who engages in sexual harassment will be disciplined up to and including termination of employment. The term sexual harassment includes a wide range of prohibited words and conduct. Prohibited conduct includes sexual words, jokes, gestures, or physical touching. Anything that would be offensive to or unwanted by a reasonable person. The scenes you are about to see demonstrate some of the many forms of conduct that could be considered sexual harassment. Any kind of benefit promised in exchange for sexual favors is prohibited. Coworkers or supervisors may not promise a job or better treatment in exchange for sexual favors, and may not threaten to fire you or treat you badly unless you allow their sexual advances or let them touch you. Deliberate or repeated offensive comments that are sexual in nature are prohibited. Coworkers should use respectful language and should not comment on another person's body or sex life. Asking coworkers for dates is discouraged, and requests that are denied must be respected. Repeated requests for dates or attention may constitute sexual harassment. Gestures or physical contact of a sexual nature are not appropriate in the work environment. Workers often need to stand or sit near one another, but there is never a need to invade another worker's physical space or look at another worker in a sexual or suggestive way. What may seem innocent to one person may be offensive to another. Each of you has a role in ensuring that instances of sexual harassment are dealt with quickly and fairly, and to create an environment where sexual harassment is not tolerated. If you believe you have been sexually harassed or witnessed someone else being harassed, immediately report the incident to your orchard foreman, human resources manager, or owner. Even if you are not sure whether something is sexual harassment, if it makes you feel uncomfortable or worried about coming to work, you should report the behavior. People who report or give information about alleged harassment will be protected against any form of retaliation, such as the loss of employment, reduction in wages or hours, or unwanted reports to any outside agencies. However a report or complaint is made, the company will conduct a thorough and objective investigation and will take steps to keep the identity of the reporting party confidential. Any employee found to have engaged in prohibited conduct will be subject to discipline up to and including termination. Any person found to have retaliated against any person who reported or provided information about alleged harassment will be immediately terminated. A copy of the company's sexual harassment policy is included in the packet of materials you received when you were hired. It is also posted on bulletin boards in the workplace, and you may ask for a copy at any time from your orchard foreman, human resources manager, or owner. Thank you for your help in making this a safe and comfortable place to work.